And I'm Cristiano. Let's get this week started off with the sports.
Hi, welcome back to this week's sports. For Thursday, we have junior high powerlifting meets. Friday, we have high school powerlifting meets. And Friday through Monday, we have high school area playoffs. Well, that's it for this week's sports. See you next week. Bye.
Thanks for the sports.
Now to Zach with our weekly weather forecast.
Welcome back to this week's weather. On Monday, you have a high of 64 and a low of 36. On Tuesday, you have a high of 69 and a low of 35. On Wednesday, you have a high of 69 and a low of 44. On Thursday, you have a high of 75 and a low of 43. On Friday, you have a high of 73 and a low of 36. And on Saturday, you have a high of 63 and a low of 32. That's it for this week's weather. Back to the anchors.
Thanks, Zach.
Now on to lunch and breakfast.
Welcome back to this week's lunch or breakfast. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Leonard. On Monday, we're having oatmeal with toppings. On Tuesday, we have a cinnamon roll. On Wednesday, we have a biscuit. On Thursday, we have a breakfast burrito. And on Friday, we have no school.
For this week's lunch, we're having pancakes and syrup. And on Tuesday, we're having corn dogs. And on Wednesday, we're having pizza pasta. And on Thursday, we're having pulled pork sandwiches. And Friday, we have no school.
That's it for this week. Now back to the anchors.
Thanks for lunch and breakfast.
Now to Lexington with some jokes.
Hi, welcome back to this week's Lame Dad Jokes with Lexington. For our first joke, we have, I kept wondering why this frisbee kept getting bigger and bigger. Then it hit me. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but then I turned myself around. But that's what it's all about. See you next week.
Thanks, Lexington.
Now on to the interview.
Welcome back to this week's interview. I'm Jason, here with Miss Tibbetts, and I'm here to ask her 3 questions. For the first one is, what inspired you to do music?
It was always something that I was good at. I remember being in first grade and going to music class, and it was my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And I was good at it, and it was just something that stuck with me, something that I enjoyed doing from as far back as I can remember.
For the second question is, what do you like about teaching music?
I really love when kids all get excited, like when my elementary kids are in here and they all start singing the same thing and they're singing at me and you can tell they're just so excited and they're having so much fun. It doesn't matter how it sounds, just seeing the joy in kids' faces, even high school kids, it just makes my whole life.
And this is a question that I personally picked. It's, how do you think you'll be able to change people's lives with music?
Music changed my life in a way. I had a really rough childhood, and it was something that I could go to, something that I could use to express myself, but I could also use to release feelings that I had that I didn't know how to get rid of. And if I can help one kid find that path and figure that out, or even just come and have an hour where they can be in my classroom and I'm acting insane like I always do, and it just makes their life better for 40 minutes, then I feel like I've done my job. I feel like I've made my impact. So that's what I do every day. I try to come in and I just act crazy, and I try to be really positive, and I do all this silly stuff. Just, I want them to have one bright spot in their day, whether they like the music or not. I want music to be a place where you can come and feel comfortable and be yourself and get a little bit of encouragement. And my favorite thing is to be there for kids. Even this year, I've got some kids that I've started talking to and having that dialogue, and it makes my heart happy to be able to help kids.
For sure. Well, that's it for this week's interview. Now back to the anchors.
What's he doing?
That's it for this week. Thank you for watching the Merit News Network.